Yeah, we can go ahead and get started. I like that idea. Go ahead and call to order. So we had an agenda put out there earlier today. So I'll be looking for any comments on the agenda, anything else we want to cover outside of what's out there already. Hearing nothing, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve.
In a second.
I'll second. There, I get some audio.
All right. If anybody disapproves, we'll consider that approved. All right. On the agenda, first is the approval of the minutes. Have you all been able to look at the minutes or find the minutes?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I think they're out on the website. Rosa, can you maybe tell everybody how to steer to those?
Yeah, so they should be on the Board Docs website. There's a link included in the meeting on Teams. So to navigate there, just click on the top right corner. It's going to say DMTRS. And it's up to you if you want me to share my screen, if that makes it easier.
Can we suspend making that motion until we have, I guess, what would be our next actual formal longer DMTRS meeting versus this is kind of an update? That would be my request.
Sounds good. We can go ahead and table that for now. So next on our agenda is an update on the Tcg Initiative. Kathy, are you giving us the update?
Yep, I just had my meeting with them today at 1 o'clock. And our future meetings are scheduled for Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. So they will be right before this meeting. I met with Mike Cochran today. They have been working on building the model. He said he's got a preliminary skeleton of a model. He's loaded all the actives into it and he's building out some calculations of what IPERs would look like and then backing into different income replacement levels from there. In my conversations with him, I identified some, for lack of a better word, some errors in his model. And so he's going back and revisiting a few things. He's also had a couple further clarifying questions for Larry, our actuary. Larry, the actuary. I thank you for laughing, Doug. I thought that was a good little rhyming there. And I think I was just looking at my email before I jumped on. I think Larry has clarified those outstanding issues that Mike had posed today. So he's thinking hopefully in the next week or so we can have a little bit more refined model. Again, once we get that first one, I think there'll be a lot of back and forth between us trying to figure out different income replacements and different scenarios from there. He's hoping, I'm really pushing him to have us a completed model that we're comfortable with all the components of it by the end of the month. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Not a lot to share.
Would you categorize yourself as pleased with their progress or meeting expectations, or you should give kind of like a thumbs up or a progress grade on how you're feeling about them so far?
Yeah, I'd say right now, until I see the model, because I haven't really seen, he was just talking through and I haven't actually seen it. So right now I'm going to say I'm neutral. I think once I see a model, hopefully I can give a more positive response.
Kathy, can you share what income replacement percentages are being used, or is there a range that's being used in terms of the model?
I haven't seen it yet, Blake, so I don't know. All I know is right now he's looking to try to calculate what IPERS benefits would be for people, and then getting the present value of those IPERS benefits, the present value of your Des Moines teachers at retirement, and then we're starting from there. So we're a ways out yet.
Yeah. So we're really looking at the gap right now.
Right.
I'm just curious as to what his errors were. I mean, what was he not understanding?
Well, he was using the wrong columns of a report, and so he wasn't looking at the present value of future DMTRS benefits. He was looking at your actual current today's balance, which is significantly different. Yeah, it was frightening. So I think there was just some misunderstandings of column headings.
Okay. And then what about the actuary? What was he needing from that person?
Well, he said that he didn't feel like he had the present value of future DMTRS benefits. And so Larry confirmed with him that he did have them. They were just in a different column than where he thought they were.
Okay. So. Just curious. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy, are those future values using a 5.5% interest currently for actives going forward?
I believe so, Blake.
I know that that's a big adjustment, but I would argue that that's not a very valid current measurement of future growth.
And those are some of the things that as we go forward, we'll have to be tweaking. But until I see his framework, sure. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I think the important thing is he gets kind of a model built and stood up. And then once we feel good about kind of how it works and if it's telling us the right things, then we can put in different assumptions to kind of say how different assumptions change the results and how do we feel about that. First, there's kind of like a validation exercise that has to take place up front, and that's the stage we're at right now.
Right.
Right. Any other questions on that? Call that status yellow right now.
Yep.
All right. Next item we have was member contact information. I think this is related to the outreach effort. Is that you again, Kathy?
Me again. I have not done postcards yet. I'm trying to work on getting that. I have responded to several emails. I'm getting several in from retirees concerned that they aren't getting timely notification of meetings. And again, a lot of that is because I don't have email access to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I mean, we can say the meetings are posted, but if they're not computer savvy to see them. So it's a battle to the communications with that group. Doug and I had a conversation a little bit earlier today, again, trying to problem solve some different things. I do know that it's, we're going to work on that outreach to get the emails, but then I think we still need a backup for those people who don't provide an email.
Any input from the group on that, or how to achieve that? I don't know. It's a tough one.
So I think the postcards will be a good faith step forward in this, and hopefully we'll be able to flush that out a little bit more and try to aim for getting as many electronic contact ways as possible.
And I just want to confirm, so our goal is to get a postcard or something like a postcard out, I'm going to say soon-ish, in hopes that that postcard will help us to get a return of email addresses to at least shrink down the 850 contacts that we're trying to chase. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Do we anticipate, I don't know how the legal part of this works out, but anybody just sort of being like, I am not going to deal with computers, but I would like you to pass this information along to my child, my little child now. Are there any like issues with that from like a passing along information?
We're working on a legal opinion on that, Brad. So
Okay,
Doug and I
Next
had
week,
that
I'm
exact
hoping to have it.
conversation today.
perfect. That was not a dumb question then.
No,
No,
because I said
that's
we've
it.
got nursing homes, you know, that read individuals' mail for them. We have children that are their individual who's in charge. So yeah, it's not a dumb question at all.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
probably-
the next best thing to do.
Well, it's probably something that we all need to focus on at some point, because as direct deposit becomes the norm, the avenues of communication or the methods or the frequency continue to diminish. And so we do need to find a happy medium. I don't think we should suggest pausing the pension payments. So I don't think we'll do that. Gordon would be mad at us.
Yes, I would.
I would too, Doug.
That's one way to get somebody's attention. Is that the guy from Office Space? She's like, we stopped paying him, but he kept showing up. Yeah, not a good approach. All right, anything else on that topic? All right, I think our next meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday. We'll look to add approval of the minutes. Has everybody been able to kind of on the side navigate to the minutes in the meantime?
Oh, but I'll try to look at them here after we finish up.
Okay,
So-
nope, sounds good. Just kind of taking a scan of the room to make sure everybody was good. So, okay, we'll plan on taking a vote on approving those minutes next time. Anything else anybody wants to discuss?
Is there any chance we could get back together in person as this thing maybe kind of wanes a little bit, or 'cause I really sometimes have a tough time getting in.
I know just
that wasn't much of an idea.
Gordon,
No, it's
from
just
our
being in the room.
side, we haven't been doing a lot of in-person meetings. And I know at the district, they're having staff meetings in the buildings, but not pulling people from all across the district into one meeting. But I hear you, and I know that from our end, we have a lot of people pushing to get back to normal life, whatever that is. But
I do think a positive, though, of being virtual, even if we were to go back to some in person, is our attendance at these meetings is significantly greater. I mean, we're able to have people access, and like for a short meeting, this is great. You know, we're going to be done in 17 minutes. And so to actually go drive to a point, but I do think, Gordon, that perhaps whenever our next bigger, more formal meeting, perhaps when we're really going to dig into that TCG model, maybe we do need to offer an in-person component and a virtual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've lost my excuse to leave work for the day now that we're calling in here. I've got to go back to my office after this.
Yeah,
Are we-
and we could host with an owl. I mean, so we have an owl that we could use for that. That has worked pretty well for dual modality meetings that we can bring wherever we do that when a meeting's longer.
Well, are there like mask policies in district buildings that we need to be cognizant of, or is that going to be an issue for folks to sit around for 90 minutes wearing a mask, or everybody's
There are
good?
currently mask requirements in our buildings. Subject to change, but currently that's our current reality.
Yep.
Drake still has masks, and so I'm still used to teaching in them. So good to go here.
Well, say
you're
just
kind of-
to the side, as a out in the hinterland where I live in Indianola, I had to go to Walmart today, and they were giving away these N95 masks. You can have 3 of them. So I took 3 of them. Had a devil of a time getting it on, but after I finally did, it worked pretty well. And I don't know if that's throughout the corporation or I don't know, but anyway, I grabbed it.
Yeah, I feel like 90% of the population has had COVID in the last 6 weeks, and so I haven't seen many masks when I go out in public these days. But yeah, it's encouraging to see people still wearing them. So
I was going to say, Brad, as I look up over the computer screen, it's Wells Fargo Arena and it's day 1 of the wrestling tournament. And I have yet to see anybody except a couple of workers with masks. So
there are a couple of reasons behind that, I'd imagine. Some recent trends, some demographics will drive that. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, hearing no other items to discuss, I think we can go ahead and adjourn for the day. All right.
Thanks for having these weekly meetings. It's good to have a check-in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Of course.
See you guys.
Bye.